What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again with another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius trial guide, and just a couple of days ago, we did get released Scorn of the Octopus and the Teacher. I want to go over what team comp I think you guys should take in there, give you guys a little bit of party knowledge, you know, what you guys should have on your party before you attack, and explain the fight a little bit better to have you guys prepared. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so like I said, it is Scorn of the Octopus and the Teacher, and it is going to be a much more tough battle, than we had in the past when we first fought this boss. The first thing we need to look at are the missions. Again, Stardust Rod, that's pretty much what you're here to get, along with the UOC ticket. As you guys can see, while I was practicing and learning the fight, did not even evoke 3 Espers. Need to get on that, but I'm pretty sure I could have if I did it right. I'm going to try it on stream later, and we're going to see if I can grab that up. Next up, we have deal wind, earth, and light damage 2 times or more each to an enemy. That's really up to you guys. If you guys want to go after this 10% trust Moogle, you are going to need to deal wind, earth, and light damage later on in the fight to kind of seal some abilities away, some nasty abilities. So that could be a time when you do end up doing it, but it's really up to you. And last but not least, to get some trust coins, we are going to need to use a limit burst. So this fight is going to kind of play out, I would say, almost exactly like the other fight, but just harder, obviously. So you're first going to get in there, you're going to be taking on Orthros, and then the next phase, there's going to be a phase 2, you're going to be fighting Orthros and Typhon together in a fight, right? And then you're going to want to, more than likely, you're going to want to take Typhon out first, and then move on to Orthros as the last fight. What I want to do is go ahead and bring up right now, we're going to go ahead and bring up this sheet that I made for you guys to look at, and this is going to be covering what I think your party should have pre-battle, and then as we show off the fight, I'll go into why these are needed, but this is what I think you guys should have set up. So first and foremost, you always are going to need a tank, and this time I do believe you guys are going to want a physical tank that has AoE cover and draw attacks, so innate draw attacks and innate provoke. You want to have that as close to 100% as you can. The other option is having a physical tank that is your AoE cover physical tank, and another tank that is your draw attack 100% single target tank. Now you can take 2 tanks. When I did the fight, I only used 1. I don't know how many resources you guys have to do. But another thing I want to point out here, you can do one or the other, and as you'll see, if you read under the tank, you'll have certain conditions you need to meet, and that'll kind of dictate how you're going to be able to do this fight, you know, if you have the gear to be able to do it with 1 tank or with 2. You guys do not want to be using full evade tanks, really, in this fight, as there are some abilities that will be happening that have a 100% accuracy, a couple of them, actually. So you really just want to build your tank up to be big HP, defense, spirit, super tanky, the best you can for this fight, as we do have 100% accuracy hits again that will hit through your evade tanking. Next up, you guys are going to need 100% resist to fire and earth. So if you're using 1 tank, he needs to have 100% fire and earth resist pre-combat. But if you're using 2 tanks, the single target one is the only one that needs 100% fire resist, and then the earth one is AoE, so you need that one to have 100%. So if you split them up, you can split it up that way. Next up, the single target tank or the draw attacker must be 100% status resist immune. This is the first time we're getting into the point where monsters and trial bosses are going to start breaking your ability to resist certain status elements, and we're going to get in here, and Typhon is actually going to do that. Now, it is single target, and as long as you have 100% status resist on your single target draw attack or provoke tank, and then you also have another support unit to buff up by 100%, you're not going to need to worry about it. And then also, if you don't have 100% draw attacks on your tank, for example, when I beat it, I used Wilhelm, he only had 50%, I didn't add any more to it. As long as everybody else on your team has 100% status immune with a ribbon, etc., you know, and then you buff it up with another unit, keep up 100% status resist to all elements, you're going to be fine. Another thing I do want to point at is you can only get 100% status resist immunity from equipment pre-battle. It has a cap at 100%. If you throw 2 ribbons on, that's not going to get the job done. You're going to have ribbon on and then buff in battle to get that other resistance to what you need. Moving on, we're going to talk about the team. What kind of elemental resistance do we need on the team? The reason we're using a physical cover AoE tank instead of maybe a magic one is there's a lot more physical damage, and the magic damage really would just kill off your magic AoE cover tank anyway, and you'd have to be dealing with physical. It's just not fun. What the better thing we can do is we can have our team build up a combined resist and some resistances with buffs that we can have to be able to survive the fight. So There's going to be an attack that happens later on. It's going to be magic, it's going to be AoE, and it's going to combine water and wind resist. So with buffs on your team, so this is coming from a support unit also buffing, every unit you want to have around 270 combined resist to water and wind. So you're going to be able to take water and wind, put them together. If you have somebody like me that buffs 50% to all elements, you know, that's 100% right there. You can add to that. So you're going to need to get 170% water and wind together to be able to make it out of this. Now, it doesn't, that's around where you want it to be. Again, you know, with spirit being up and things like that, and health, HP, you can survive, but around 270, you're just going to be able to resist through it anyway. Next up, we need to have 140% resist to water. This is, you know, there's going to be a water AoE magic attack, and there is going to be an imperil of 40%. So that's why you're going to want your water resist up to 140%, and this is after a, you know, a water elemental buff. So maybe you can get it up to 90% or so if you have somebody that can buff 50%, or you can buff even higher with somebody on your team to do even more water resist and not need that as much on your equipment side. But this is why I've been telling you guys, you really need to be on the lookout for the elemental resist gear, because it's going to come in handy. Some of you guys need to go after. And also, both of the phases are going to have preemptive attacks. The first phase, Orthros is going to go ahead and hit you with magnitude 8, which is going to be an AoE physical earth attack. So you want to have as much earth resist as you can on your entire party. Of course, your tank is going to already have 100% earth resist, but you know, on the rest of your party, you're going to need that on there too, so they don't just die off at the very beginning of the fight. And at the second part of the fight, we are going to have, I think, lightning AoE magic attack come and smack you down. So you want as much lightning resist as you can get on yourself as well to help you not die through that, because Orthros will cast like a lightning attack, and then Typhon, I think, casts like an AoE magic non-elemental attack, and that's all going to happen before you can do anything. So you need to be able to survive and get through that and recover. So these are things you need to consider. So elemental resist are going to be big in this fight to be putting up on your teammates. Now, one thing I want to point out before we move on to like the team comp, I want to talk about is that if you do not have 100% draw attack, or a 100% provoke tank, somebody casting provoke all the time, you really do want fire resist on the rest of your team as well, because there is a single target fire attack that comes out, and it actually comes out after Typhon will totally dispel your provoking tank. Well, he'll dispel, you know, the provoking tank, because that's the tank, you know, it's single target, and then he'll hit somebody with a 100% fire attack. Now, if you have a little bit of fire resist, you have some HP, some spirit, you're going to be able to live through it, but that's just something I want to point out. Moving on, we're talking about what supports you need on your party. What do you need from your support units in the fight? The first thing I want to talk about is you don't need a breaker at all. Nothing can be broken on these two guys, which I think is kind of bullshit, but it's whatever. You're going to need somebody that can re-raise, in my opinion. Your tank, not really for your party, but your physical damage tank is going to be taking a lot of damage in this fight. So you're going to need to have somebody to re-raise up your tank. You need to have it on your party in emergency scenarios. Obviously, you're going to need somebody to put up your stats, defensive stats, offensive stats, to be able to go in and do the fighting. You guys are going to need elemental resist. As we can see, we're going to need to be able to cover these elemental resists, or we're going to be in trouble. So you need to be able to have those buffed up and keep them going. No breaker needed, like I said. We want some damage mitigation. That'll always help. Some physical damage mitigation, some magical damage mitigation, some just normal, you know, damage mitigation overall. They all stack up, so they can help you in cases when you can't reach certain gear thresholds to help you, you know, make it through with the damage. You're going to need some MP regen, because this boss will counter things that hit it with an attack, but it is physical damage covered, but it will drain the NP from your person who hit him. It will not be covered. So essentially, it will be draining NP from your physical attackers either way. However, it's not large amounts, but without MP regen, you're going to find yourself in trouble. So you do want some kind of MP regen on the team. And as we talked about above, you guys are going to have a status effect 100% immune buff for all status effects, because he will break all of those status effects single target, or he might go all over the place if you don't have 100% draw attack. In which case, as long as you have this buff going and a ribbon in tandem with that, you're going to be fine. Moving over to the DPS, I personally believe you want to take physical damage chainers into this fight. That's just how I did it. Obviously, you can use magic. The boss, Orthros, will go back and forth on resisting a certain amount of elements. We'll see in a minute. He has like a pack of elements he resists and another pack of elements he resists, and that goes away. It's 100% resist, so you can imperil him. On top of that, he does go back and forth from being magic resist or physical resist. So there are some turns you're not going to be able to damage him. That lasts for 2 turns each when he switches. And sometimes, you know, he'll go physical resist, physical resist, physical resist, and you'll just be mad. But you want the ability to change elements or not have one. Essentially, you want to take a damage dealer in there who can do, you know, maybe just like Esther, for example, just go in there with a 2-handed non-elemental sword and go to town. And then when he's not resist to lightning, imbue with lightning and take down Orthros. Obviously, if you have the ability to have an element on Typhon, you're going to be able to take Typhon down much, much faster, that's kind of what you want anyway. And then also you want aquatic and demon killers, as Orthros is an aquatic monster, and then Typhon is demon. So demon and aquatic killers are needed. And then just like I talked about with the team here, you're going to want those stats on your DPS and your friend DPS as well. My suggested team comments for this fight is a physical tank, AoE, and single target with draw attacks. I'm using Wilhelm personally. Building up as tanky as possible and having the stats I showed to the side. I'm taking 3 supports into this fight. And this kind of sounds weird, but we don't need a breaker. So essentially having a healer, a support unit, and then maybe somebody else that just focuses on re-raising, like a CG Fina, really helps with this fight and can help with healing or, giving her LB to someone else and trusting her LB to other people will be really great. And 2 chaining damage healers are optimal. Or if you cannot get the stats on your single target physical tank, and AoE tank together that I talked about, you can split up the burden, have a physical AoE cover tank and a physical single target tank with 2 supports, a healer and a support unit, and then 2 chaining DPS are going to be the way to go in my opinion. So now what we're going to do is move on and talk about what this fight actually does and how they can, what they do, and best way to avoid a lot of the things they could be hurting you with. Alright guys, so as we get into this fight, you can see that we got unlucky and he's resisting physical first. But you can see he does start off the fight by doing a magnitude 8 and putting up some resistances to himself. If we go ahead and look at Orthros here, we have a boost physical resist attacks. That kind of sucks because most of the time I've been hitting magical at first, but it is, random. And then he's going to boost resist to ice, wind, earth, light, and dark resist. After these 2 turns, he does have a chance to resist some other elements, and he will always have one of those elements happening. So yeah, it's kind of tough to deal with that. And then also he will be resisting physical or magic attacks both ways. But that's why it's important, guys, for you guys to have earth resist up before the fight, because he is just going to hit you with that. And you can notice I barely took any damage with my units. Even my friend unit, which was cool enough to have a lot of resist on himself too, to help us live through it. Another thing he likes to do pre-combat, or preemptively, before you can do anything, is lower your defense and spirit for 3 turns. So that's something we're going to have to deal with. In your first turns and going forward with Orthros, this is all you need to do. You need to make sure that your single target AoE cover tank is AoE covering. You want to make sure that he has a re-raise on him, because he can die. Even my huge tanky Wilhelm with all of those STMRs and TMRs can still go down sometimes, so you need to be worried about that. You want to make sure that your support units are doing what they need to be doing, and so we're going to be doing intro and then the album cover there, so we don't have to worry about getting touched by any of those bad things. And then you also want to make sure your elemental resistances are buffed up, so that's what we're going to be doing here. We're going to buff up elemental resist. We're also going to be doing big Sylvie buffs up to all of our stats. Next up, we really can't do anything with our 2 damage dealers, but through this phase moving forward, you essentially just want to slowly be whittling him down. Don't go below 50%, and slowly whittle him down to as close to 50% as you can while summoning 3 Espers. That's kind of your job, but for now, he's physical resist, so he can't do anything. So there's Aqua Breath. That is going to be the AoE magic attack, and then he goes into Octotentacle. This is the ability right here that will drain some MP along with countering anything that happens to him. So he will counter with that as well. That is going to be the move that really does a lot of damage to you. And after we push past 50%, he kind of starts berserking like he did in the first fight. He's going to cast haste on himself. He even has the ability to single target cast berserk on someone. He'll cure himself. He'll start casting those abilities a lot more often. So you want to do your best to at least try to one-shot him from 50% below, or do it at 40% or below, because after 40% is when it really gets rough. So it's 50% and 40% there. We're going to run through one more turn here so you guys boss can see exactly what I'm talking about with what he does. But pretty much he's extremely simple to deal with. Now that we still have a re-raise, our person didn't die, we can choose to Kiraja, which we are going to need to. We're going to need to do a little bit of healing here. And then we'll cast a little bit of a re-raise maybe on Fina here just in case. We're going to have Myra go ahead and go with the interlude. And then we could be casting For You at this point. On one of our 2 people here, but we don't really want to be doing that either. So we're going to do a hit single just to be getting some HP back every turn. Sylvie's going to take this time to triple the fun, which is amazing. She's so good. We're going to go with Physical Resist. We're going to get rid of any kind of attack, magic, defense, and spirit debuffs, and magic resist. Or mitigation, excuse me, going up. And then Esther and my friend Esther aren't going to be able to do anything. We're going to have to wait till the next turn. So Magnitude 80 is being cast, Aqua Breath is being cast, so we're good there because we have our Water Resist up, and Octo Tentacle is happening. So really you can see here, not too much to deal with, not too bad, and he resists physical again. So that's kind of the tough part, man. Oh, and that's a big hit, as you saw that. That big hit right there will take you down in more cases than not, which is why you really need that re-raise ready to go. But we can recover. We just need to make sure we have our AoE physical tank, AoE physical covering. We need to put a re-raise on him. We can do a little bit of Kiraja as well. When we get an off turn with Fina, we really want to have Manitopia going. Sylvie at this point is really going to make sure that you are putting up the, your status resist buffs, your elemental resist buffs, because your tank did just die. And then I also like to go ahead and just slap on a physical damage reduction to help our tank make it through. And then, you can just continue the cycle with Myra, which this will be the last turn. You'll see it's outro into intro. And then on the next couple turns, you can start casting For You if you build it up. But sadly, he is still resistant physical, so he can't be doing much. We're going to move on to later on in the fight now. So we finally have a turn where he is not resistant physical, but he is resistant to lightning, which kind of sucks. But we used Esther's ability to lower lightning resist, add lightning to her attacks anyway. Another bad thing that happened is we had a couple of things happen in the turn. We had the big ability that'll kill off our Wilhelm, and then we had Tempest be cast, and it did double cast there and kill off our Wilhelm. But again, this should be recoverable with all the elemental resist we have. So the plan here is going to be to go ahead and raise up full life our Wilhelm, bring him back to life. There we go. We're going to go ahead and put a, the AoE re-raise on everybody. That's going to help us get through this turn just in case some bad things happen. We're going to go down here to Myra, can finish off her turn here with outro. So that's going to be great, giving us high stats and some barriers too. We'll cast intro to keep that going. And then with the 2 Esters, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to try to do a lot of damage here. We'll see what happens. Of course, again, you don't want to be pushing past 50%. You want to get them close to 50% as you can with Esters. And then, then do the LB. And that's going to be on a turn where he's not physical resist or lightning resist, in my opinion. But let's see what happens here. Sorry, I was using my my keyboard here to try to, you heard the clicks, to try to do the best I can with the chaining. And so we're doing some damage. We're getting some Esper Orbs. And again, you guys can do this much slower than this. I'm just trying to show you guys the fight. So, as you can see, they're getting smacked around a bit. Oh, lived. Good. And then, because we're not covering, we are going to be taking some damage. But we do have some re-raises on our team. It's going to be all right. As long as we don't die twice, and we're good. We made it through. So that's a recovering turn if your tank is to go down. That's the one hard part about this fight if your tank does go down. Looking at Orthros again, it does appear to be that he's resistant to magic attacks and still lightning, as we saw before. We're going to go ahead and start to recover now. So the tank is alive, so we're going to do the Empire is with us. Go ahead and click that right here to do an AoE cover. Go to dual cast. We're going to do a Kiraja into a Kiraja. The only person is this Esther, I do believe, that doesn't have a re-raise on it. Wait, did our tank pass off too? No. So we're good there. A couple of other damage dealers don't have it, but that's okay. We want to get everybody up to full HP the best we can. We're going to go ahead and do playlist interlude, and then we're going to cast For You for our, because we have our LBs here, we're going to cast it for our Fina so that we can have our LB ready to go for later. Sylvie's going to be on the duty of giving everybody back their elemental resistances, along with some, let's do some physical damage resistances as well. And then now we're going to choose to not use our limit burst because, I want to get him as close to 50% as I can and hope that 50% will take him down. So we're going to go ahead, let's see, we're not going to be able to triple cast, but let's hope that double cast doesn't end up taking him out. That's our plan here. So we're going to go like this, and we're going to go bolting strike, and chain it up. Okay, that might be spark chaining, which could do a little bit more damage than I was hoping for. 54%, perfect. That's amazing. Now, I'm kind of rushing through this like I was talking about. I'm not, going slowly trying to get my Esper chain you know, of 3 ready to go, because I do believe you want to at least get 2 here, at least 2, that you could probably get a 3rd one in the next fight, or you can do all 3 here. Sadly, we just got hit with the Bangarooski there, which is, it's the Hellstorm or the Tempest that's going to kill off your tank. It's really annoying, but there's nothing you can really do about it. You got to have that re-raise ready to go. So we see some lightning resist and some physical resist. So we're not going to be doing anything for now. And he healed a little bit on top of that, allowing us to be a little bit above 50%. So I'm going to kind of get into the battle to where we can start doing stuff again, you know, when we can get him down to where we're close to 50%. All right, guys, so joining us back here, I didn't think I'd do as much damage as I did, and I accidentally pushed him to 46% below, but we should be okay. The problem we're going to run into here before this turn is over is that right now he is resist to magic attacks, which is great, but he's also lightning resist. Now, it is only 100%, so these Imperils are helping us do damage. So essentially, we're going to have to sit around at this 46% range for a little bit, take a little bit more damage, live through it, but the way we have it set up, we will. Until I can get to a point where my Esters are going to cast the ability to put lightning on their elemental attacks, or their physical attacks, excuse me, and then also put down his resistances, and we need him to have magic attack resistances and no lightning resist. So that's what we're hoping for here coming in the attack. So I'm going to go ahead and cast these abilities I need to right now, and then we'll see what he does here. So he is popping off with those, which is pretty rough. Let's see what happens here. Magnitude 8, no problem. Aqua Breath, no problem. Acid Rain, also no problem. Acid Rain is going to be a mix between your wind and your water resist, so you should be okay there. And we're making it through. 46%, you know, isn't as bad as going below 40%. That's when it's going to be really rough. So let's see what he ended up switching to. He's resist. Okay, he hasn't switched yet. We have to wait till the next turn. So we're really hoping that this coming turn, he is still resist to magic, and he is not resist to lightning. But we have this ability to go ahead and cast our add lightning onto our Esther's abilities, along with taking down his lightning resist. So that's what we're going to do right now. Let me make sure I click the right one. Reduce lightning to all and add lightning elements. That's great. We're going to go ahead and pop that off. Our Wilhelm did not die last turn. So you know what? This turn I'm going to go ahead and do something a little bit crazy. I am going to cast the Limit Burst here instead of the Provoke. I think we're okay doing that. Does he have re-raise? That's the question. You always want to have re-raise on him. He does. So we're going to be able to take this turn to use some Curajas. Possibly cast another re-raise here just to reapply it until we can use our LB. And then what is Myra doing this turn? Myra is going to be using Interlude. And then I'm actually going to use For You. Let's see, For You for my Sylvie, because my Sylvie is actually going to be able to use that LB, give me a lot of mana back, all kinds of good stuff here. So we're going to go ahead and cast that as well. So that's good. See how much mana we get back. It's excellent. So this next turn, this is when we're really hoping that he decides he's not going to just pop off and go with the physical resist and the lightning elemental resist. We're just really hoping. Or we're just going to have to slowly take him down. Again, we can live through it. It's just depending on your gear. Physical, great. Resist to physical. All right, we'll be back when he's not resist to physical. All right, guys, and we're back. Finally, turn 15. The guy decided that, hey, I'm not going to be resisting physical, and I'm not going to be resisting lightning. And we can see that he's still down from his lightning resist from our Esther's attacks. We're going to check East Esther and make sure they have their let's see where it is. Add lightning. Do they have add lightning? If they don't, we're gonna have to wait till next turn to do it, which is fine. I do not see it on there, actually. I just see a bunch of boosts. There's a lot of stuff on here. Okay, so it looks like what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to take this turn to go ahead and add lightning to our attacks. And we're just gonna go ahead and imperil. It's not gonna be the best imperil in the world, but it'll be okay. We'll chain that up, and the next turn we'll take him down. The thing you guys want to make sure you're also doing, let's see here, we're going to add lightning elements and then reduce lightning resist. Go ahead and do that. So let's see how far we get him down with these. Pretty good. So we got him below the 40% threshold, which is scary, but hey. And yeah, that's the problem with getting down below 34% and not having a 100% single target tank. I'm kind of happy these things are happening, because essentially now we can't even go in and use our 2 Esters because one is berserked. If Wilhelm would have had the Provoke on, or we would have gotten lucky and the 50% would have selected Wilhelm, we would have been fine. However, it did select the Esters. So we can still be doing damage to this guy with the other Esther, but we're kind of worried about, you know, all kinds of different stuff. It doesn't matter now since we've already passed the 40% threshold. All right, so he's still physical resist. It hasn't been lining up yet. I do know you can mess with this, so I do want to state that. If you are to hit him with these resistances that he has lowered, like wind and light resist, I do believe it's twice, he will switch over to the other element. And this could cause him to switch from physical to magic. You can, like, control that. However, with this team comp, I just haven't been doing that. and things aren't lining up for me the way I want to. I'm not dying, so we can live. If you see my team comp, I can just keep living, but I'm having problems where, like, Berserk's coming in, which is fine or whatever, because he's still physical resist. And then he's I don't even care about the lightning element, because we have a way to get through that. It's the physical resist. So, again, we'll cut back in when that's gone, but I just wanted to say there is a way you can manipulate it, but it's a headache, and it's all kinds of different elements you have to worry about. So, yeah, there is a way you can deal with it. I've lost all hope in my entire life. I've lost all hope. Like, the first time I did this fight, he was, like, resist to physical once. This time, he's resist to physical every single time. I may want to look into how to stop him from doing that, but it's 50-50, and he's been resist to physical for the past, like, freaking, like, 6 or 7 turns, I feel like? Something like that. Jesus! Physical resist again! And it's a goddamn Christmas miracle. If you look at this, no lightning resist, no physical resist. He's going to die. He's going to die now. But before he dies, we do want to make sure, again, you could be summoning espers, etc. We do want to make sure that we have everybody at full HP, ready to go. So what we need to do is we need to do a little bit of full life here. Bada bing, bada boom. Full life and back up to full health. There we go. We have some MP because the next turn is going to be really brutal. Can we do anything else? Can we give MP to people? Do we need to raise anything else up? I think we're good. I think right now all we want to do is go ahead and finish this guy off. So using these LBs, it's going to lag a little bit on my Nox. I can't handle it right now, but yes! Finally, you're not physically resistant. You die! You die, you smelly octopus man! Alright, we're going to move on to the next part of the fight. Alright, here comes the preemptive strikes, which really is tough. Boom, taking a lot of damage. Everybody is. You can see that a lot of us got imperiled on a lot of different status elements because, again, I don't have 100% provoke, but we made it through. We lived through that thanks to our lightning resist and our earth resist and our spirit and HP being high enough to make it through. If you didn't, you could recover. Okay, let's talk about what happens at this part of the fight. We're going to focus on Typhon. Essentially, we have Orthros up there. I call him Orthros. Orthros is the better way to say it, like I've been messing that up all the way through, but we're focused on him. And essentially with him, he doesn't need anything special happening to him on turn 1, as this is turn 1 here. Turn 2s, 3, and 4, as we go forward, we need to hit him with certain elements so he doesn't do a bunch of nasty things to us that we're worried about. First up, next turn, we need to hit him with a little bit of earth damage. The next turn after that, we want to hit him with wind damage. The next turn after that, light, and then so forth and so on. Earth, wind, and light. The reason we want to do this is we want to avoid some very nasty things you can do, like snorting us or insta-deathing us that cannot be prevented. So that's kind of where we are on that. But for this turn, we're going to be all right. It's kind of time to recover. So we're going to go an AoE physical cover. I think we're going to take the time here. We do really want to re-raise on our tank, but we also want to heal everybody up. So we're going to Kiraja here, cast that re-raise on our tank, and that should be okay. With Myra, we're going to have to start building up her whole singing thing again. So with her, we're just going to go ahead and cast, let's see, where is playlist? Intro on the squad, along with album cover. Just go ahead and give us that resistances to all status elements, because we're going to need that very much so, because we have been imperiled on them. Next up, we're going to be using our Sylvie here. We need to have our status elements, or excuse me, our resistances buffed up to all of the... I don't even remember casting this. Why is that on a cooldown? That's weird. To all the different resistances, and then we also want to do her mega big attack and magic defense and spirit buff up. And then for Typhon, you can really just go to town on him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this time to go ahead and cast reduce lightning resist for all enemies and put a lightning element on our Esther here. I don't have a way to deal wind damage. I kind of forgot to put that on my team. So we're going to try to just kill this guy as fast as we possibly can, Typhon here. So that's our plan here. So you can see we're taking some damage. He's a little bit upset here. But it's going to be very similar to what we were dealing with in the first round. Just Typhon's going to be adding a little bit of stuff that we have to worry about. But again, if we're prepared like we've talked about prior, we're going to be okay. Oh, great. He's physical resist, isn't he? Oh, no. Oh, it's Typhon. Excuse me. It's just the magic. Huh. Must be an element I have on Wilhelm. I think I do have fire element on Wilhelm. Okay. So, what do we want to do this turn? Honestly, I'm going to take this turn to dual cat. We're going to go with Interlude, and then we're going to go with For You. We're going to go ahead and give my Esther her Limit Burst. We got like that. Let's see. Everybody looking pretty good on health. Do we need a re-raise? I don't think we do. I think we did pretty good. So now we can go ahead and use this other Entrust, which is amazing. Where is it? Entrust on the other Esther. And we're just going to go to town with our LBs here. We have him down on lightning resist. We have lightning on our good old-fashioned attacks here. So we're going to do that. Before we do that, though, I'm going to take this time to triple the fun. And we are going to put up physical damage, magic damage mitigation, along with removing any kind of breaks on us that we have, because that's kind of important as well. And that boosts up our status resist to any of the nasty imperils. We are going to do a provoke here with our Wilhelm. He does still have cover on, if I'm not mistaken. I do want to check this several times. Good stuff. And then we're going to click on Typhon here, and we're going to go to town. Again, my Nox does not like it, but we're still doing a lot of damage here. Come on, come on, come on! Yes! And we got some Orthros damage going on. Feels good. So we one-shot him there. So that's going to depend on how strong you or your friend's DPS are. It is definitely possible, as you can see, with Esther being extremely powerful. Xeno's going to be a little bit more complicated building up, obviously. It's not just going to be like, get your LB ready and crush it, like he did with Esther there, especially with my support units. So now comes Orthros, and little baby Orthros is going to be almost exactly the same way he was before. There are going to be a few things different, but nothing too much to worry about. We can do the same thing we did in the first round. Get him close to 50%, 40% as we can, and try to one-shot him. It's kind of the same deal now. We are at the finish line. We're almost done. Okay, guys, so essentially we've been living just like we were in the first round. We look at him right now. He has no lightning resist, no physical damage resist. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and lower him a little bit more by doing double bolting strike with our Esters. We do have his lightning resist lowered, and we have a lightning element on our attack, so that's going to be great. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Again, we don't really want to push him too far into the 50%, into the, past 50%. 71, that's fine. We're doing okay. And then let's see with our Wilhelm. I can't remember if... Remember, always be checking. You want to make sure you have a re-raise, and then you have AoE cover and a provoke. So we're good here. We're just going to go ahead and put the AoE cover on. The provoke is more for when he starts casting the nasty berserk, which you saw how it could just be super annoying. And watch, our poor Wilhelm's just taking the hits. Again, if he dies, though, we have ways to back him up and recover. So he kind of resists the death there. He comes back, and we're good to go. And we actually get a little bit more damage in with the Esther counter. So this turn is the turn I'm going to go ahead and set off. I'm going to use both of these. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to kill him, but I really want to take my opportunity to try, strictly speaking, because he's not resist to lightning. He does not resist the physical, and we saw how long it took before. Let's see. Can we do our Mega Ultra buff? We cannot. I really wish we could. But anyway, so now we're going to go ahead and go double the fun. And I'm showing these same instances again. You always want to keep doing that if anybody dies. Physical resist up for your tank. Your tank's going to sit here, and I'm actually going to kind of... I know that he just died, right? So he doesn't have the AoE cover, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and just do Impregnable. I really want him to be the one to get Berserked, and I hope he kind of dies, actually, so the Berserk falls off of him. We'll go ahead and cast dual cast, let's see, re-raise on Wilhelm with a Curaja to get him back up to full health. And then Myra, I do believe this is outro turn. No, it's interlude, but we still had the outro buff anyway. I'm actually going to give her a second because I may just want to 4U one of these two to get him ready to go. So here we go. If we don't end up killing it off, we have options. Ooh, that was bad chaining. I didn't click my fingers fast enough. So it may not get the deal done yet. It does not look like I'm going to take him all the way down. We did get him to 43%, which means we're going to start hitting the rough moments of what's about to happen to us. But that's okay. We're going to show you guys how to live through this as well. And then I'm going to go 4U, and I'm going to hit up my Esther here. That way we can be ready for the next LB that comes up. Alrighty, here we go. 92.8, we should be fine. Hellstorm, ooh, that's going to be tough. Yeah, that was one we really needed a physical cover, but that's okay. It looks like we're okay. If you can survive the Hellstorm, it won't even kill off. Oh, lightning resist. Good. That's what's so cool about Esther. Okay, so I really should have had a physical cover going on right here with my Wilhelm. Obviously, it's a proven fact. This is turning out to be a turn where I really should have physical covered with Wilhelm. You can see that now I really need to take time to recover. But you can see that Esther when he did that volt. The volts, he'll cast 1,000,000 volts on you guys if you pass the 50% threshold. And you saw he gets super powerful. Resist the physical. Dang it. Okay, but we have time to recover. That's good. We're going to have Sylvie go ahead and cast Full Life here to get this Esther back to life. Again, I really messed up by not doing what I should have been doing, which was cover with Wilhelm. I was just really scared of the Berserk, to be honest. And then we're going to go, the Empire is with us to do the AoE cover. Again, he is resist physical, I do believe, right now, so we're not going to be doing anything with our Esther this turn. And then Myra should be casting outro into intro. Seems good enough. There we go. let's see what happens here. We're past the 50% threshold, so he is a little angry. We saw last turn it was pretty bad. I should have physical cover. I like to just mess around, you know, put myself in scenarios to see if I can make it out of. Now, I am obviously really lucky to have all these units that could pull me out of this spot. So you guys probably don't want, after you've been on this fight for as long as we have been in this video. I think this video is going to be like a 45-minute long video. You can see he didn't do too much that turn. We made it through. Okay. She looks like she's blinking with the Berserk, but it must just be a bug because she's not Berserked, I guess. I don't know. She must have got Berserk, died maybe, and then got off of it. I wasn't really paying attention. I was looking at some other stuff. But here we are. He is still resist to physical, but we can take this time now with our Esters to cast the ability that gives them, takes down his lightning resist, along with putting lightning element on our attacks. So we're going to reduce lightning resist and put lightning element on our attacks. Let's see. Where's our Wilhelm standing right now? What's he got on him? He's got covering allies. He needs to have provoke on, so we're going to do that. He does have a re-raise, which is great. We can take this time to fully cure up our team because they're kind of hurting a bit, some of our members. Myra, what are you on? You are on interlude turn, which is great because that means now if we get lucky next turn, we can cast for you now onto this other Esther. So now we have both Esther's LBs ready to go for next turn. Sylvie, what we're going to have you do is just go with the elemental resist up and the physical damage mitigation. So come on, baby, we're rolling the dice. Give me physical resist, not on. Give me magic resist. And this is going to kill Wilhelm, I think. Oh, no, that's not the one that kills Wilhelm. It must be Tempest, the one that takes him down. It's like 60% HP or something like that, and because he's, like, covering, I think it... Dang it, he's resist to physical. Did you see that, Tempest? Yep. I'm going to die again. Oh, he lived. Nice. But we sadly got the physical resist attack. So we'll be back when he's not physically resisting attack. All right, so after waiting along for a lot of turns, we got a little bit lucky. Not sure if we're going to be able to finish him off, but we'll try. I'll even push him past the threshold just to see if we can live through it. But he is boost lightning resistances. We do have the lightning resist down. And then we also have he's not resist to physical. So again, what we're going to have to do is go ahead and cast a re-raise on our tank when things like this happens. Not a re-raise, sorry. Full life on our tank. And then we can cast a re-raise with Fina, which will be just fine and dandy. Let me make sure he comes back to life. Then we're going to cast re-raise here. Then I guess Kiraja, but we don't really need to do that. It's whatever. We'll go down to Outro. We'll see how much damage we'll do. We will use the LBs. I'm not sure if we'll kill, again, because of the lightning resist that he has. But I'm not going to sit here and wait around any longer. We'll see what happens. I'm going to try to, like, Spark Chain this. Nope. I'm trying, dude. What I'm doing is I'm using Nox, and I'm using... Is that Spark Chain? It just says Elemental. And you can see his Elemental resist is really just clearing our damage out. So we just barely pushed past that 40% threshold, too. Oh, gross. Let's see what happens. See how bad he hurts us. You can see that, like, the game's bugged out. It's not liking the whole Wilhelm thing. He's gone. Like, Wilhelm is in the middle there. He wasn't on the side where he should be. We can still do damage here, and we can triple cast, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, so let's see. We'll go with Esther, triple, right? Triple. And we're going to go with Bolting Strike, Bolting Strike, Bolting Strike. Triple cast, Bolting Strike, Bolting Strike, Bolting Strike. So, go ahead and do that now. Well, hold on. Let's do the Myra. Oh, it's not going to be... That's okay. We'll just get that going just in case. Do I have a for you ready to go? Yep. We'll put it on mine. Ooh, actually, I could do both. I could do both. No, I don't want to do that because I want to make sure I'm good to go. Because I don't think... We could get both LBs back with both the Entrust, but I don't think it's going to do enough damage because he was... Yeah, it's not going to do enough, so I'd rather just whittle him down like this. So here we go. I think we'll get him down to maybe 25%? 26, okay. Not too bad, not too shabby. Boy is alive. He has a re-raise on him. It seems like everybody's got good health, so that's going to be good because that's going to allow me to cast... let's see. Let us cast Manitopia. And then, just to be safe with that, and then let's cast... I think we can cast Provoke, right? He already has the AoE cover on. He does not have the AoE cover on. Weird. Did the last turn I forget to put a cover on with him? No, he was dead. I forgot. He was dead. So AoE cover's coming on. Sylvie's going to go ahead and use double the fun. We're going to put on this and some physical resist. And let's see if he stays physical or not. Because if he stays resist magic, we're good. We're going to be able to keep doing damage. If he switches over, it's going to be a little tough. All right, we're at 26% now. Things are going crazy. Come on, dude. Just say change to magic. No, he changed to physical. BRB. All right, so he is not resist to lightning. He is not resist to physical. This is going to be great. We are going to have to take a turn, though. So we're going to go down here, and we're going to put up... we're going to use the ability again, reduce the lightning resist, and put lightning elements on our attack. I love this move, Shock Embrace. Let me make sure that's the right one. Yep, don't want to mess it up now. We're going to click both of these. We're going to go ahead and go with a full life onto our tank. It seems like he really likes to just kill off our tank when he decides, hey, I'm not going to be physical resist anymore. We just used the re-raise on everyone else, so we just go ahead and cast a re-raise on Wilhelm. We'll be fine there. Myra's going to take this time to do the outro, give us a nice buff for next turn, and then intro to keep it going. So next turn, this thing should die. Unless it heals itself by 1,000,000, it should be time to go, baby. It should be time to get this done. All right. A lot of Octo Tentacle. Again, he casts haste on himself, so he has more, you know, like more moves he'll cast each turn, which is kind of rough. Octo Ink. Oh, no! How did I get so unlucky? Oh, my gosh, dude. There are so many... And it targets the unit with the highest attack, is what it does, the Berserk. And... golly, dude. God bless. I can do the double Dispel Good trick, but that gets rid of the lightning element, but then I can have Sylvie add the lightning element. Alright. I don't really like this. If we do the Dispel Go on him, it's going to get rid of his lightning. You know what? Hey, dude. Might as well try something crazy here, because oh, wait, he did die. Ooh, let's just do it, whatever, dude. We're at the end. Just do the same. Do the normal stuff. Don't listen to me what I'm about to do. I don't even know if I can pull it off here. Okay, we got rid of the Berserk. Good. Okay, so hopefully he doesn't go resist next turn to physical, and then we'll have it. I'm going to use Myra's ability to give everybody re-raise. So there we go. We're going to go ahead and get off of that whole boat that we were doing. Let's see. Sylvie. We're going to use this to get everybody back to full health. All right. See. Okay, so we can't cover, so we're gonna have to use an item. We can use items. It's okay to use items. Elixir here. I think Sylvie would have been better off doing something else and not just Elixir Wilhelm there. It's okay though. And then we're gonna use this cover. Now I'm doing something a little bit crazy to try to push it a little bit faster. Let's see if it works out for us or not. Yikes, dude. It is not working. What in the world? Why'd they die? Good thing I put that re-raise up. Okay, he stayed with the magic. But why did he, So, I wonder why the other people died. Like, a lot of people are dying now. I must not have the resistances up. Holy moly, okay. Alright. So, don't do crazy things like I like to do. Don't be resistant lightning. Don't be resistant lightning. Okay, alright. Okay and alright and okay and alright. Here we go. Sylvie. Give these two people lightning on their attacks. Boom. Boom. There we go. We do need a buff. But sadly, we can only go with the intro buff. But it'll still be a buff, you know. And then we'll go back to album cover, I guess, to keep that going. And now we'll just see if we can take him down, dudes. We should have done that, but we'll see if this works. Ah! Oh, and I got the good chain going. Here we go. Come on, come on. I need that health bar to go down faster than that. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. 8%! Ooh, tough. We're tough, but we can make it through this. We'll cast a re-raise here. Kiraja on the squad. Ooh, but Sylvie did not buff up our elemental resistances. That's what's going to be scary here without the re-raise. Did Willie die last turn? Let's see. He sure did, didn't he? All right there, buddy. Hey, dude, we pushed the envelope here. We tried to do something a little bit crazy. That's okay. That's what makes this game fun. We just got to hope that our people live. Oh my gosh, we needed that. We need those elemental resistances. Totally forgot about that when I Dispel Good myself. All right, time to end your turn. Time to end your turn. Yes! It didn't cost me the game. Okay, don't do what I do. It's dumb, but it's still fun. Let us. Well, look at this. A little bit of for you action. We are going to end on a LB's for you. A little bit of, let's see. Where is it? Entrust action. Right? So entrust the top one, for you the bottom one. That's what I did, right? We should actually click these. For you, bottom. Click. All right. Entrust top. Click. There it is, dude. Give me this victory. Huh! That's good chained too. My fingers were fast on that one. See you later, Orthros. Nice. Okay, so I probably butchered Orthros and Typhon's name. I want to say Typhon, but it's probably Typhoon, obviously with the win. But I'm trying to make it a little bit different. I was saying Orthros there for a little bit. It's Orthros. But guys, that's how you take down this fight. Obviously, I messed it up a little bit. It's going to be different for each and every one of you. I just wanted to give you examples of what they do and how I ended up doing it. I only got one Esper summon, and I could have summoned way more Espers. There were a lot of times when I could have taken a turn off with my Sylvie and just summoned the Espers. Should have done it. I don't know what I was thinking, but I just wanted to be very exact in doing this guide. But I hope this helped you guys out. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below how dumb my last move was and why I did that. I don't even know why I did that. And then subscribe for future content. We'll catch you guys in the next video.